Hey, this is Tony with BT Media Group. Will your local music scene survive this pandemic? Today in this video, I want to talk about the changes that are probably going to take place from now on as a gigging musician. The music industry has really taken a hit during this pandemic. I mean, everything was just stopped almost overnight. And it's never been in my lifetime anything like this at all. I work in the music industry, and everything, all the jobs that I had booked for all spring and summer were just completely gone. They were all canceled almost seemingly overnight. The local music scene has been affected in exactly the same way. All the bars, all the clubs, all venues, all local festivals from town to town have all been shut down. And you know, the music scene from town to town kind of varies, but we all have this community. There's all these bands and music fans, live music fans, people that go to bars, clubs, venues, and they've not really had a place to go to. That got me thinking about how things used to be and how things might not be the same ever again. It's kind of weird to think about. I've had conversations with a couple of my musician buddies, and we've talked about it. A friend of mine was just talking. He's a hugger, and he's like, "Do we hug now? Do bands hug? Do fans hug? What about autographs? Are music artists not going to do meet and greets where they, usually they're hugging and beside each other, taking a photo. Everybody shakes hands. Is shaking hands gone now? That's weird. Can that be a thing? High fives? Can that really come back? I don't know. It's really strange to think about. The thought of can a music venue survive after this if people are wanting to do this social distancing. Most clubs or venues, bars, whatever you want to call it, are tight spaces anyway. Bands are always crowded together. I mean, how are you going to social distance? Pre-pandemic, pre-corona, everybody was just all together. You never thought about it. You're wedged in at a bar, shoulder to shoulder. Bands are in a green room and are just all over each other. Music fans are there. People's hugging, people's high-fiving, shaking hands, and you never really thought about it. And now, supposedly you're not supposed to do that. Or, I don't know. I just wanted to put this out there and ask you guys what you thought about it. Is there going to be hugs and meet and greets? Is that going to be done? Are you going to see major stars not do that kind of thing anymore? And also about capacity. I've been hearing things like venues are going to be able to start opening up, but at half capacity, that kind of thing. There's no local bar that can operate with limited capacity. I mean, that's going to be a real struggle for local owners. I'm sure everyone has seen, YouTube views are up like 60%. YouTube streams are up 60%. And every band, every artist are trying to do things live and stream. And is that an alternative? Are you going to see bands that really gear toward that? I mean, I don't think, for me, I'm a live music guy. I've got to hear the volume. I've got to have the interaction. And I just don't think live streaming can take the place of a live event. But maybe it's an alternative to some degree. The ironic thing is I've noticed by watching some of these live streams that I'm seeing some bands get a couple hundred views during their live streams. And I've never seen a couple hundred people at their shows. And it's kind of cool that some bands and the way their fan base works, they have 10 fans in this town, 10 fans in this town, and so on and so on. But with live streaming, those true fans show up and watch them. So they end up with a couple hundred fans watching their show. Hopefully those people, do the tips and that kind of thing when they're requesting songs, and it's been good for some bands. So is live streaming an alternative for live shows? I don't think so. I'd like to know what you guys think. You can put it in the comments. Live streams, are they a replacement for live shows? I think I know the answer, but I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts. Also, something to think about is outdoor events versus indoor events with all this going on. And I'm talking within the next few months when we're in that weird transition. Are outdoor events going to be easier to social distance and to watch those kind of scenarios versus trying to crowd into a club or a theater and have an event? I mean, most seating in theaters are so packed anyway. I'm just struggling with how we're going to move on and fix this kind of scenario. Don't get me wrong, I cannot wait until we can get out there and go see live music again, and my band can play, your band can play, those kind of things. But these are the questions that are just rolling around in my head as I sit here with way too much time on my hands and not a lot to do. You know, will the music scene survive? I think so. Will it be the same? I don't think so. There's going to be some things that are going to be completely different, I think, for a long time. Is live streaming a good alternative? I think it is a alternative. I think in some situations it can be cool, especially if the production is really good, but I don't think it can replace being at an event, interacting with everybody, and just being there and having that interaction with on the stage, off the stage, and just the whole event is a memory, not just the songs. And will outdoor events be easier to distance and monitor and be safe in this kind of world than indoor events? I love the indoor ones. I love, you know, that crowded in this. I love being crowded into a club and lots of people there and the music doing good and everybody having a good time. And I want that back. Okay, this has just been me kind of talking out loud and getting things off my chest, and I want to put it out there to you guys to see what you think. I'd love to hear everybody's opinions on how things are going to be different, how hopefully they won't be different, what things can never be again, you know, just all those scenarios. Let me know. I'd love to get a conversation going and talk to someone else about this instead of just me staring at the wall, being depressed. All right, guys, this has been Tony. It's BT Media Group. Hope you've enjoyed this. I'd love to hear back from you about everything. You guys stay safe, stay socially distant, and let's all keep our fingers crossed that live music is going to happen again real soon. Peace.